Hi, how do you review the unreviewable book? My name is Gareth Kingston from All Things Quiz, and I'm going to try and review this book without spoiling it for you. This is the 12 Quizzes of Christmas by Frank Paul. You may have heard of Frank Paul. Frank is a former Only Connect champion. He was a resident quizzer on The Answer Trap, and you may even have played some of his online cryptic quizzes. On the cover of the book, renowned question writer Alan Connor calls Frank a 21st century Lewis Carroll. And you might think that's hyperbole, but I promise you, when you get into this book, you will find out that it's not. There is no other book, to my knowledge, like this one. It is weird and wonderful and bizarre and challenging and thrilling. There are times where I was tempted to punch the air when I got questions right. This is not normal to me. There are quiz questions of different types. There are puzzles of different types. There are riddles, there are rebuses, there's poetry. This book is laced with humour. It's just like nothing you've ever seen before. And all of that is wrapped around a narrative. There's a story here. I can't really describe it without partially ruining it, but it's a Christmas fantasy, a surreal sci-fi romp that brings in the best of authors like Dickens and film references and other. It makes me think of Jasper Fforde, the author. It is wonderful, but the problem is I can't open this book and show you what a typical chapter looks like. There is no typical chapter. And I don't want to ruin some of the questions, and I don't want you to lose the thrill of being surprised by what you find in this book. It is just exceptional. The sheer complexity and cleverness and beauty of what's been produced here is amazing. Frank Paul has created something that defies pigeonholing. And who would want to pigeonhole something quite marvellous like this? You know, you could put it in a glass case and admire it. I think there are three types of reaction that there'll be to this book. One will be people who will get this and think it looks beautiful, it looks interesting. They'll flick through it and perhaps won't persist with it, and it'll stay on their shelf. They'll be proud to have it on their shelf, but you know, it'll be something that perhaps was not quite what they were looking for. There'll be some people who flick through and look at the questions alone and enjoy doing that, but that's all they'll do. And there'll be others who will devour this. They will get this book, they will open it on Christmas Day, let's say they're going on Christmas Day, and they will spend the rest of the day ploughing through it, challenge by challenge, question by question. If you are that sort of person, this is going to be one of the most rewarding books that you can read this year. Every time you think that Frank has done something really clever, he comes along and does something even more clever. Do I recommend this book? Hell yeah. I don't think it's for everybody. I think if you're just wanting a simple quiz book, it might not be for you. If you don't want the variety of quizzes and puzzles and word games and mind-mangling challenges in here, and you just want a simple quiz book, that's fine. It's not for you. But there is so much in here to really, really enjoy. It's quite outstanding. You've got to admire it. And at times you'll find yourself almost applauding it because Frank has done some wonderful things. So on behalf of All Things Quiz, I heartily recommend this book. Now, I normally have categories called content, format, practicality, annoyances, and longevity. I'm not sure they apply. The content is unique, so it's absolutely quite fantastic. How can you compare that to another one? The format is, again, unique. I've never seen a quiz book quite like this. I've seen puzzle books. I've never seen a format as diverse and as challenging and as thrilling as this one. Practicality, how practical does a book like this need to be? It does give you plenty of space for writing down notes, so, you know, it's very practical. Annoyances, I can't think of any annoyances. You know, this is either your thing or it's not. For me, 0 annoyances. This is 20 out of 20. Longevity, well, it could take you quite some time to work your way through this book. Once you've been through it, is there a reread value in it? I honestly don't know. I haven't completed it yet, but I think this is the sort of thing that even if you've completed it, you will want it on your shelf as a reminder. There'll be questions in it that you will dip into and use and reference. So I do think it has longevity, just in a really different way from others. This is a quiz book to cherish. It is a quiz book to marvel at. It's a quiz book to applaud. Frank Paul, you have done something quite remarkable here. Now, if you want to buy a copy of the book, you can get a link in the description below to Amazon. Now, if you've enjoyed this review, perhaps check out some of our other reviews up here.